Just the past week, the organization has received two major grants totaling over $200,000 that will go toward making healthy food more accessible for everyone, especially people here in the Harrisburg community. This is the Hub for Community Innovation, which will house the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Augusta's headquarters and 4 community partners, including Augusta Locally Grown.
The big idea here is that we will work together and be very collaborative in nature in order to get the most out of the resources.
Ever since the hub was announced, we've seen people be generous and give to Augusta Locally Grown.
Generous giving, including a $200,000 grant from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. This money will primarily fund Augusta Locally Grown's 9-month study, determining the best ways to support farmers and increase community access to food.
It's a game changer for Georgia in general. In Georgia, we don't have a lot of food hubs. Now we've got the hub coming, which will be a food hub as well as food and wellness combined. But there's never been a study like this done in Georgia.
Augusta Locally Grown also received nearly $15,000 from the Community Foundation for the CSRA, which will offset cost of the Fresh Food to You program. That's 12 pop-up markets in the Harrisburg and Laney Walker communities, including delivery to those living in a food desert with limited transportation.
Finding out that we got the full amount. For us in this program, it's a game changer because we've never had this type of, farmer's market that goes directly to where somebody's living. So it means a lot, but I was just floored. I'm still floored.
Rebecca says the organization is seeing the community rally behind them in force they haven't seen before.
A lot of days you're literally in the soil doing the work and you don't have time to look up, and a lot of times it's our community that is right beside us, but to have so many partners back us and say, no, the work that you're doing is good and it's validating means a lot.
In Augusta, Mary Calkins, WGBF News Channel 6.
The race for Georgia governor is heating up, even though
the map must still be approved by the school board and the Augusta legislative delegation.
MURDAUGH is going to be in front of another judge in South Carolina and have a chance to get out of jail this week. A virtual bond hearing for MURDAUGH is set for Friday. He's accused of a series of alleged scams where he allegedly stole money from his clients in 5 South Carolina counties. Bond was denied at a previous hearing on charges out of Beaufort County.
Chief Meteorologist Tim Miller is here with us in the Americans with Disabilities Act.
The Blood Connection and other blood centers in South Carolina now joining forces to address a blood shortage. The nation's blood centers facing widespread shortages in recent months. In fact, they created the Blood Emergency Readiness Corps to collect and store extra supplies. Every blood center is going to rotate every 3 weeks and provide blood in the event of a national emergency. They want to be ready. The Blood Connection says even a small emergency can put a big strain on a hospital's supply.
Normal traffic accident could impact how much blood they have on the shelf. So when we think about that in terms of a natural disaster or a large accident or a mass shooting or something, that can make that even worse.
Most recently, the Corps supplied hospitals in Michigan with the blood they needed after the recent deadly school shooting.
A local man honored through a community blood drive on the anniversary of his death. Tanner Haywood battled cancer for 5 years. His sister Taylor says the best he felt during that fight was after a blood transfusion. She says the family wanted to pass that along.
It was just a big pick-me-up for his quality of life, and I've seen what that does for him, and just the fact that North Columbia would do this it's a huge honoring thing for Tanner.
And listen to this, North Columbia Elementary will hold a blood drive every year on December 7th with Shepherd Community Blood Center in honor of Tanner Haywood.
The vice president now calling on the private
John.
The cost of convenience. A lot of people pay, maybe you've done this, for an easier trip through airport security to try to move things along more quickly. But the TSA says there's a surge of those pre-check scams. The pandemic has affected how we've traveled over the past year, and experts say one of the problems is people just aren't paying attention to details. Scammer sites may look like TSA pre-check, but you need to look closely, make sure the site and the emails have .gov at the end of the address.
Domains that look like they could be legitimate, but they're all .com domains. And that means, that it's not coming from a .gov email address, means it's not, authorized by the actual government.
Experts say make sure the pre-check site you're using has several payment options too, not just one.
Coming up, Chief Meteorologist Tim Miller has
The rain chances for us, and AU's volleyball team continues its historic run. They're off to the Elite Eight. The story next. You good? Look, the camera's zooming out as far as it can go.
That's what I asked for. No
We all
tight
look
shots.
good. I love it.
Thanks, guys. Some local college volleyball players are on their way to the Elite Eight after defeating Lenore Ryan in the Southeast Regional Championship. These talented young ladies left early this morning from Augusta University. They're headed to beautiful Tampa, Florida, where they hope to win a national championship. The athletic director and the president of the university were there to see them off.
I feel like we're on cloud nine right now. There's no feeling. We were just talking about it this morning in the car with me and my roommates. Like, this is something that this program has never done before. So we're making history. Also getting to experience it firsthand is just amazing with the girls and our team.
They'll also take on the University of Tampa this Thursday at 7:30.
Coming up, a car show in Grovetown is getting a gear this weekend.
How it's benefiting Toys for Tots when News Channel 6 at 5 returns.
Start sipping.
A different kind of car show is revving up in Grovetown this weekend. Never Satisfied Builds. It's hosting its third annual Toys for Tots auto show. And unlike other car shows, kids will be the judges. They'll pick their favorite vehicle. They just want to collect a lot of toys for children who can have a Merry Christmas because of your generosity.
The kids are the ones that decided what they liked. And the best thing about that is you could come in a $10,000 vehicle, you could come in a $125,000 vehicle. It doesn't matter. It's what the kids like.
Going to be a big weekend for sure there in Grovetown. Saturday at the Columbia County Exhibition Center. It is free for spectators.
We are back at 6 o'clock. But count on News Channel 6 for more coverage.
At 5, a massive apartment fire leaves more than a dozen people homeless. The latest on the investigation and what's next for the people who live there.
Plus, Margaritaville makes its way to Masters Week. Singer and songwriter Jimmy Buffett is coming to Augusta during our biggest week of the year. Details on the concert ahead.
Also ahead, the risks that cyber crimes hold for business owners and consumers in Georgia. News Channel 6 at 5 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 5.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Brad Means.
And I'm Jenny Montgomery. Thanks so much for joining us. Coverage you can count on continues with several families devastated after a fire burned through their South Augusta apartment building. It happened at Azalea Park Apartments on Fayetteville Drive. And that's where we find News Channel 6's Chloe Salsameda. And Chloe, this is just devastating, like we said, for these families only a few weeks before Christmas.
Yeah, the fire burned through the whole building, getting all the way to the roof. You can see that the wood on top of the roof is completely burned and exposed. And tonight, 7 families can't go home. Caution tape surrounds Building M at Azalea Park Apartments. The building burned Wednesday night. When Augusta firefighters arrived, flames were coming through the roof.
I looked out the window. I seen a building on fire.
I actually woke up out of my sleep and seen the lights in my window.
The Augusta Fire Department says everyone inside made it out safely, but 7 families no longer have a home. That includes several children, the youngest a 3-month-old.
I just be concerned for others because it's cold and you want the best for people.
The Red Cross quickly arrived, ready to help these families.
It is a matter of rebuilding their entire lives back together, so it is really utterly devastating.
It just doesn't make any sense that these kids, especially the family that was burnt out, have to suffer throughout the holiday. They don't have a house.
Jessica Everett tells me she's had issues with her apartment.
I happened to check my smoke detector this morning as advised by the fire department. My smoke detector does not work.
Some families who live here receive Section 8 vouchers. Everett hopes the city can step in and help.
If Augusta got money to fix the roads, and they got money to want to build James Brown arenas, and every time I turn around, they trying to build some type of new restaurant or building, somebody can help us.
It's still unclear how the fire started or exactly where it broke out. The Red Cross is assisting those families. They say if you want to help, you can donate your time, blood, or money. Live in Augusta, Chloe Salsameda, WJBF, News Channel 6.
2 arrests have been made in a shooting in Augusta. Tabitha Jenkins and Derek Barnes charged after a man got shot in the back Tuesday. That happened at the America's Best Value Inn on Deansbridge Road. Arrest warrants say that gun was stolen, and Jenkins there pulled the trigger after getting in a fight with the victim.
Back in Augusta, a new act has been announced for the 2022 Masters Week at Lake Olmsted Stadium. Jimmy Buffett will be the headliner on Friday, April 8th. Also on the list, 2-time Grammy Award winner Nelly is set to open for country music superstar and TV personality Blake Shelton. That's coming up Wednesday, April the 6th.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're doing our concert series, and we're very excited to have Jimmy Buffett performing. We plan on bringing the Parrot Heads to Augusta, Georgia on a beautiful April day.
General admission starts at $175 plus tax and fees. You can find a link to buy those tickets by looking for this story on our website, WJBF.com. It's time now for a first check of the forecast.
On this month's Hometown History, we focus on the Augusta Christmas Parade. Nobody knows exactly how long it's been around, but there has been some form of Christmas parade in Augusta since as early as 1905. It used to be an Augusta Jaycees fundraiser for the Miss Augusta pageant. Now it's run by the Downtown Development Authority to bring in money for Ronald McDonald charities. The parade used to be during the day, but this year it's going to be at night as we've done in years past. Margaret Woodard with the DDA says there's just something special about the nighttime parade.
It is just so magical to have the decorations on all the poles lit up and the storefronts lit up and the beautiful floats going down Broad Street. I think nighttime makes it pretty special.
It does. The parade's going to be this Saturday night, 6 p.m. on Broad Street. Please come down, and you can stay tuned to GMA for more on the history of the Augusta Christmas Parade. Good morning, Augusta, letting us know all about it here on News Channel 6.
And, of course, if you can't make it to the parade, we are broadcasting
Yeah,
it.
you can watch it.
Get downtown. Coming up next, new video of the shooting death of Daunte Wright.
That trial continues. The first day underway right now. We are going to have an update from the courtroom next.
Strong arm. This holiday season, protect your rights and get the lawyer who fights. I'll fight so you don't have to.
Now to the emotional first day of the manslaughter trial of Kim Potter, the former Minneapolis police officer accused in the death of Daunte Wright.
Wright's mother broke down as she testified about her last conversation with her son. Stephanie Ramos has more.
Day 2 set to begin in the criminal trial for former police officer Kim Potter, who says she mistook her handgun for her taser when she shot and killed 20-year-old Daunte Wright during a traffic stop near Minneapolis in April. Opening arguments revealing never-before-seen dashcam video, and these moments where Potter is inconsolable, realizing she had shot Wright as his car drove off.
I did the wrong gun! I shot him! Oh my God! Oh my God!
The 26-year veteran of the Brooklyn Center Police Department now facing first and second-degree manslaughter charges. That new video, part of an emotional day of testimony, which saw Wright's mom called to the stand as the prosecution's first witness.
And I wanted to protect him because that's what mothers do. You protect your children. You make sure that they're safe.
Bryant detailing the last phone call with her son as he was pulled over for an expired tag and an air freshener in the rearview mirror, which is illegal in Minnesota.
And he just sounded really nervous. But I reassured him that it would be okay.
The call abruptly ending. That mother then making a video call. A woman in the car with Wright answering the phone.
She said that they shot him.
Bryant rushing to the scene. Those raw moments playing for the jury.
Is he alive? I do not know the police driver. Are you guys serious? What are you talking to me for then?
The defense arguing their client made a mistake of distress, placing the blame on Wright for resisting arrest on an outstanding warrant.
All he has to do is stop, and he'd be with us.
But prosecutors say Potter acted recklessly and negligently.
This case is about the defendant, Kimberly Potter, betraying her badge and betraying her oath.
Coming up next, a look at your local weather with Tim Miller.
Stay with us to see what the rest of the work week holds, as well as a preview of that weekend outlook. Next.
At the Etheridge Center. For tickets, visit etheridge.usca.edu or call 803-641-3305.
Wow, if you're looking for great deals on Christmas decor, you gotta get to Carolina Pottery. Huge selections of ornaments, trees, wreaths, and greenery, all at our everyday low prices. Get festive for less this year. Visit carolinapottery.com or a store near you.
December is released today.
Relationship-based care is really one of the main focuses of Bella Family Dentistry.
So at Bella Family Dentistry, we are passionate about relationship-based dentistry. Our purpose is uncovering smiles through service and love, and that is everything that we train and empower our teams to do for our patients. It really helps when you can connect with a person and just kind of humanize that process to get them where they want to go.
It's Christmas time again at Carolina Pottery. Shop and save on our variety of decorating themes. From traditional to whimsical, we've got the style you need with hundreds of value-priced products to choose from. Visit carolinapottery.com or a store near you.
Now, your most and the possibility of some storms as well. We'll detail your full weekend forecast coming up.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 5, we now know the name of the man accused of shooting a North Augusta public safety officer.
Plus, students at the Savannah River Academy had the opportunity today to speak with astronauts who are currently in orbit.
Also ahead, video of a fight at North Augusta High School that's raising some questions about the response to the incident. News Channel 6 at 5 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 5.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Brad Means.
And I'm Jenny Montgomery. Thank you so much for joining us. Coverage you can count on begins tonight with more details now emerging about the police-involved shootout in North Augusta last night. News Channel 6's Ashley Jones joins us now with more details.
We do know the officer that was injured during that shootout in North Augusta. He was Lieutenant Aaron Fittery, a 15-year veteran with the North Augusta Public Safety, and right now he is in good condition. He has been discharged and he is back at home. The chief of police says that he is in good spirits and he should recover just fine. I'm here at the fire station number 3 in North Augusta, and I'm here because I wanted to show you Lieutenant Fittery's police cruiser here. It's behind me, and as you can see, there are several bullet holes from that incident yesterday, and this is just the aftermath, and it doesn't exactly paint the entire picture of what happened yesterday, but as you can see, these bullet holes in the hood of the car, and if you come up here to the windshield, more bullet holes in the windshield of the car, and we're actually not able to get inside the car right now, but there's actually a bullet hole right on the headrest of the driver's side. So that just gives you an image of how deadly this could have gotten. Chief of Police says that Lieutenant Fittery was lucky to have made it out with just a gunshot wound to the leg.
I just want to assure the public that this doesn't happen in North Augusta a lot. I'm telling you, this is something that we never seen coming. We don't know how this happened so quickly, but it did.
Looking for a Good Samaritan, the Good Samaritan that actually took Lieutenant Fittery to the hospital once he was shot. They are looking for him, so if you do know who he or she is, or if that is you, please call the North Augusta Public Safety Office. Also, Lieutenant Fittery should be returning back to work soon, but that's still unknown right now. The other officers that were involved in the shootout are going to be receiving some sort of counseling as well. And as far as the suspect, 42-year-old Thomas Arrington of Clarksville, South Carolina, he has been arrested, and as of right now, he is charged with attempted murder, but more charges could be following as this investigation unfolds. But for now, we're live here in North Augusta. I'm Ashley Jones, WJBF News Channel 6.
A once-in-a-lifetime experience for students in Grovetown. They got to speak to an astronaut on board the International Space Station. They prepared for it for a year, and today, it finally happened. News Channel 6's Chloe Salsameda was there when the call came in.
For these kids in Grovetown, space just got a lot closer. 10 students from Savannah River Academy chosen to speak directly with astronaut Thomas Marshburn over the radio.
What is your favorite book about space or NASA? Over.
He's 250 miles away on the International Space Station.
I believe it's the first time in Georgia, actually, that this is happening, where students are contacting directly somebody on the ISS.
Very few people get a chance to talk to actual astronauts.
It's a chance for these students to learn about life beyond Earth.
This was like once of a lifetime thing.
And they have one shot to ask the best question.
How has being on the ISS affected your life perspective on Earth? Over.
It made me fall in love with my planet. It made humanity feel very precious and very small and very faint, actually.
The call was timed perfectly. The International Space Station had to be in the airspace above the school. After a few minutes, the ISS would be too far away, but not out of mind.
Being an astronaut, you get to have the view of space and Earth. I think this is a really good, nice opportunity.
Surely something these kids and their community will always remember.
You want to be an astronaut when you're older?
Yes.
In Grovetown, Chloe Salsameda, WJBF News Channel 6.
It is timely, but we do have a chance of some strong storms. Much of this would be tomorrow night. Notice our marginal risk of severe weather for a good swath of the northern part of the CSRA. So we're going to talk about that in detail, what we can expect hour by hour with the chance of storms in just a few minutes. Jenny, Brent.
Tim, thanks so much. A wild brawl caught on cell phone video. The incident happened Wednesday at North Augusta High School involving 2 students. As News Channel 6's Aiken Bureau Chief Sean Cabbage-Stock reports, some people are saying the incident should never have happened in the first place. And we want to warn you, this video may be difficult to watch.
If I would have seen that video, I would have got off work and would have ran to that job and found out, hey, where's security at?
It was very upsetting to see kids fighting at school like that, and you see it all the time.
A student grabbing another by the hair, punches being thrown, the victim being dragged across the floor.
It's awful. It's terrible. Things like that should not be happening in the schools.
Footage of the incident shows multiple kids with cell phones out capturing video. Some students telling the young woman to stop, others cheering her on. A teacher trying to pull the student off, but as the blows continued, the teacher walking away.
She should have went and got help instead of just walking away. I mean, that's the only thing I can say. She should have got help.
That was a scene at North Augusta High School recently. It is still unclear how the incident unfolded.
We got enough problems without kids, jumping on one another.
Some people tell News Channel 6 that each classroom has a panic button in case of emergencies.
Yes, there is a panic button in every room for a teacher to be able to push in case they need something. And yes, the teacher tried to do her best, but when you give up, then it's like you give up on the kids.
The district said in a statement that students who fight or record a fight could face consequences, including a recommendation of expulsion. Meanwhile, for the student assaulted, she ended up with a bloody nose.
Children should be allowed to go to school, get an education, and not worry about getting beat up at school. And it's even worse is that, no respect for the teacher who tried to intervene. It's sad. We live in a sad world today.
In North Augusta, I'm Aiken Bureau Chief Sean Cabbage-Stock, WJBF News Channel 6.
Investigators working to find out what caused a deadly fire this morning in Windsor, South Carolina. Firefighters put it out and then found the body of a man inside. He is Sergio Villalobos. The coroner says the body's in Newberry for an autopsy. Now, a woman who was there when we got there told us the victim was her brother, who lived inside the camper. She says her husband tried to get him out.
He knocked on the door, and it burned his knuckles. And then he ran around with the water hose, and he started trying to put the blaze that was coming from his bedroom out.
She says it took more than 30 minutes for emergency crews to get there. A spokesperson for the Aiken County Sheriff's Office says that's because the Windsor Fire Department is volunteer. The Sheriff's Office is investigating the cause of the fire.
Now to the coronavirus pandemic, the CDC has been authorized, and they've authorized the Pfizer booster, rather, for 16 and 17-year-olds if it's been at least 6 months since their last shot. Rena Roy has the details.
A concerning trend across the U.S., COVID-19 numbers surging once again. The Delta variant largely to blame.
On a daily basis, we are challenged. Our emergency departments are very, very busy. Our floors are very, very busy.
In Wisconsin, officials are asking FEMA to send help.
Hospitals have to go on diversion, turning away patients who need care.
Pediatric cases jumping 884% since infections were at their lowest last summer, according to new data. Children now accounting for 22% of all new cases. New research showing kids under 18 are playing a key role in the rising infection rate. But now, 3 million newly eligible 16 and 17-year-olds can get the Pfizer booster shot 6 months after their second dose. The CDC director making the decision Thursday, citing the new threat of variants like Omicron in an interview with the Associated Press.
We're facing a variant that has the potential to require more immunity to be protected.
Some local officials cracking down once again. The governor of New York announcing masks must be worn in all indoor public places that don't require proof of vaccination.
We're entering a time of uncertainty, and we could either plateau here, or cases could escalate beyond control.
The CDC is out with an encouraging new report today, finding that there have been no deaths out of more than 40 Omicron patients here in the U.S. Just one was hospitalized. Experts say the variant may be less severe than other variants, but add more research is needed. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Christmas in Oaklands is back for its 30th anniversary. Last year, the event had to be scaled back due to COVID, but this year, it's back with its full program. A walk-through event with more than 2 miles of twinkling lights and displays. Santa's going to be there on certain nights. There will also be arts and crafts for the kids and musical entertainment.
Do you have been here before? This is a tradition you want to continue. If you have never been here before, this is a tradition you would want to start with your family. You're going to create memories that are going to last a lifetime.
Starts tomorrow and runs through the 23rd, 6 to 9:30 every night.
Coming up next, celebrating an extraordinary life. The funeral service for Senator Wrdw held.
Senator will then be flown to his home state of Kansas for another public memorial.
As an American.
After the ceremonies conclude today, the body of the late senator will then be flown to his home state of Kansas for another public memorial service. M. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
Parade in.
Yeah, there's a window there.
We're not going to allow it to rain on our parade.
No, we
No
can't.
way. No way.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Tim. Up next, a 15-year-old gets his college degree.
We'll tell you how he got so far so fast as News Channel 6 at 5 continues.
Wow, if you're looking for great deals on Christmas decor, you've got to get to Carolina Pottery. Huge selections of ornaments, trees, wreaths, and greenery, all at our everyday low prices. Get festive for less this year. Visit carolinapottery.com or a store near you.
December.
Love him so much. Go to drivetime.com, get approved, and see your real down payment in 2 minutes. Drive Time. Genius! It's Christmas time again at Carolina Pottery. Shop and save on our variety of decorating themes. From traditional to whimsical, we've got the style you need with hundreds of value-priced products to choose from. Visit carolinapottery.com or a store near you.
A 15-year-old is the youngest student to graduate from the University of Nevada in Las Vegas and will graduate with 5 degrees. Abel Garcia has the details of this young graduate.
To begin with, this guy makes me question my life choices. He is such an intelligent and well-spoken young man, and when I asked him what he wanted to be when he is older, he says he is only 15 and doesn't want to rush that part just quite yet. When Jack Rico is not deep in his history book studying for finals, you can find him on UNLV's campus writing a 25-page research paper. His peers just look at him as another student. When they find out about his age, they are surprised.
So every now and then I'll get like a shocking reaction from someone, but most of my classmates are really accepting of me. They don't treat me as a kid, they treat me as an equal.
Rico is not your average 15-year-old. After Rico failed 3rd grade when a new learning system was introduced, he went home and told his mom, Wrdw, that there had to be another way. It was at that point they decided Rico would be homeschooled, and after 3 years, Wrdw realized how intelligent her son is.
At 11. He was smarter than me, and I knew that I had given him probably everything I had, and that he probably needed better teachers.
That is when they found a program at Fullerton College in California. Rico took an entrance exam, passed with flying colors, and was enrolled the next day. 2 years later, he graduates in the midst of the pandemic with 4 associate's degrees in history, social sciences, arts and human expression, and social behavior. He maintained a 4.0 GPA the whole time, which got him a full-ride scholarship here at UNLV, where he will get his bachelor's degree in history.
It was kind of unbelievable when my mom told me, I was like, yeah, you're joking, this is a funny joke, but I was like, no, this is actually happening. And when we first came here, I automatically fell in love with the campus, the people here, so yeah.
He's worked so hard, but also, followed his passion and stayed just awesome.
On December 14th, this 15-year-old young man will be graduating with a total of 5 degrees, but he says his learning journey is far from being over. And what do you want to do with that degree?
I don't really know. I want to get my master's, but I don't really know what I want to get it in. I don't plan on getting it in history, so I want to audit some courses. I kind of want to discover some of my other interests and stuff and see what I want to do with my master's.
Jack Rico is making history of his own, becoming the youngest student to walk UNLV stage in the school's 64-year history. A truly remarkable young man right there. Rico tells me when he isn't studying, which is very little, he enjoys hanging out with family and friends, writing screenplays, and as many teenagers do, he loves playing video games. From what I'm hearing, this impressive teen can't be the next Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos.
Amazing. Wow. What an amazing kid. We're back at 6 o'clock, but count on NEWSCHANNEL.